What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I am going to be showing you the easiest way to go through the Nunatak boss fight on Ragnarok Arc Ascended. If you enjoy, please like and subscribe, and check out the Twitch where all this is done live. I hope you enjoy, and welcome in. Alrighty, here we go. We're gonna get the fight starting in about 20-30 seconds. Yeah. So basically, this fight, super simple. Me and the tribe run it all the time. We're on a PvP server. You don't really need much. If you're a little farther along, you can go with a tech suit. Here, it helps. If you don't have tech suit, you're just doing this to get your first teching rooms, or just a little bit of element, do about replicator, tech turrets, whatnot. You don't have to use tech suit. I do just because it makes it easier. If you're not using a tech suit, then you can just sit on the back of one of your tames. And the main thing here you want to do is just get a capped Fabby, or the highest damage Fabby you can, and just start hitting the boss in the air. Because it does have a crazy regen, and it will regen a lot of health while it's up in the air and you're waiting for it to land. So your Rexes or your Theries or whatever you're using can start munching it. I did forget my super spyglass, and there's other stuff in here to farm one up real quick. But it's super simple. You can do, if you have a cap Fabby and you're doing 600 shot like I am, you need about 300k with 500 rounds on this boss. I'm usually going through between 500 and 700 rounds in a fight, and it's usually over max 10 minutes. Super quick, super easy. Like I said, if you don't have a tech suit, you can just have some flak and sit on the back of your Rexes down here. You want to make sure they are on aggressive. That'll do with those death worms. You also really would get hide and keratin as well, just from the death worms. We're here on a boosted server. It's 20 times, I believe. And every like 2-3 fights, we're getting like 1 million hide. So, and decent rates. Just from doing this boss fight and letting them sit down there and do their thing with the death worms. While I'm just sitting here shooting at the boss with the Fabby. As I said, it's not necessary to have the jetpack. It definitely helps. If you're playing on a server that's cinema crops, those will work as well. You just have to drop down the number of Rexes by 1, since the cinema crops counts as a creature. Yeah. We find Rexes work the best for us, just because of the crazy health pool. No leveling into the HP on these guys. They have capped mutations. They have like 100,000 health after imprint, so they're pretty good. Don't really have to worry about healing in between fights, and don't have to worry about them dying. And they do about 3k a hit to the boss, 3,500. So it's not bad. You can also use Theries. They hit a little weaker per hit, but they hit faster than the Rexes. You also bring in Acaros. Those are pretty good. We were using them for a while before we got the double cap Rexes. So they have 243 HP mutations and 243 melee mutations. The server's lagging a little bit. It happens from time to time. And it landed. You want to make sure you whistle everything onto it. And just keep fabbing it as you go. See, they're doing about 3,700 a hit. I did not imprint all these guys. Did mess up on that one. So some are imprinted, some aren't. The one's doing like 25 for the unimprinted ones. But yeah. Super simple. We're about 3 minutes into the fight. Already got him down. I'd say about a third. You typically do it in 3 phases, 3 landings. Sometimes you have to do 4. That's why I'm fabbying, to stop him from regenning, because the regen on this boss is insane. Also, it does fairly good amount of damage. You're doing about 5 point, I think it's like 5.3k every mag on this guy with a cap Fabby. I've noticed after the second landing, he normally just kind of sits down low by the ice, and your Rex is able to get some hits off on him. So another pro to using Rexes over Theres, just they are taller. So when it flies low like this, your Rexes can get some hits. He isn't flying quite low enough yet, but I said usually after the second time he lands, he like, I don't know if it's stuck in the ice or whatnot, or just it flies really low to the ice. Obviously, the more people you have Fabiing, the better. We tested it out the other day. It was 4 of us, and we brought in like 3 Rexes just to deal with the death worms, and then it was just us Fabiing the whole time. And it took about 12 minutes for 4 of us to kill the boss just with cap Fabbies. You can also use shotguns, but the DPS with the Fabby is a little bit better. Just stopping the regen is the main thing, but you're also getting a good amount of damage in. I've tried combos as well. They work pretty decent. Just hitting the boss a little bit harder with the projectile. I have not tried out any of the new Lost Colony weapons, so like the fabricated crossbow or whatnot. But if you have a good one of those, I'm sure it would work pretty decent. Honestly, you don't even need a Fabby. You could just bring in a big army of, you know, Rexes, Theres, Rhinos even. I wouldn't bring a big army of Rhinos. Bring like Theres and Rexes. Combine it with Rhinos. Like if you have a nice imprinted Rhino, just sit on that. Come on, Rexes, do your thing. Oh, they're being stupid. That's great. Might not be able to get a 3 phase here since these guys aren't wanting to attack, which does happen sometimes. You know, Arc AI is buggy, as we all know. But hopefully we can get him down to about a third off this. Normally I have my super spyglass with me and I can see exact HPs. Yeah, it does look like we should be able to get him in the next phase. So we'll just do a little 3 phaser. Sometimes it takes more landings, especially if you don't have either as many tames or, you know, as high level tames as we do. So our Rexes are like level 870. So we're 225, or sorry, 150 wild tames came out at 225 after max taming, and then we have 486 mutations on them, as well as the 88 levels that you get on each tame. So they turn out pretty decent. So we've used Acros and Theres as well. Yeah, the Rexes just work the best. You know, really high health pool, pretty decent damage coming out of them. So this was what works best for our tribe. Ooh, we got a little bit of lag going on. And before I started, you know, doing the thing with the Fabby, it was taking about 5 landings to get through the boss. Just because, you know, it regens so much up in the air. It's like 100 every second. And it's up in the air for a couple minutes at a time. So yeah, definitely being able to even if you're just shooting it with like a prim Fabby, just something to stop it from regenning. So it can't regen immediately after taking damage. So even if you have like a prim Fabby, just doing something to deal with the regen really helps. You can probably take a landing off just with that, and Obviously, if you have a high damage Fabby, said 500 rounds is about 300,000 of this thing. And we've gone through just about that. It has 1.2 million health, so basically doing a quarter of its health just with a Fabby. You have a capped one, and you go through about 500 rounds. So yeah, it's honestly not a bad little strat to use here. I was waiting for it to land again. Rex is down there dealing with the death worms. Hey, this is just how our tribe gets like all of our element. One on this server at least, you get 1.1k for the alpha, which 1100 element is pretty nice, especially if you're running these on cooldown. Which the cooldown's like, I think it's 20 minutes, including like boss time fight. So when you start the fight, it's about 20 minutes, so you can do the next one. We should be able to kill it here. If not, we'll get on the next phase, but I don't see why we wouldn't get it here. Rex is doing their job down there, and yeah. Boss is down. Get a little loot crate spawn right here. Of course, we get the trophy and 1100 element, as well as the flag you get just from beating the boss. Yeah, these are fresh Rexes. This is their first fight in. You just go up to one. I didn't get any hide. You get treasure maps from them as well. Not too useful on this server. You get organic polymer, black pearls, a bunch of keratin, hide, prime meat, leech blood, angler gel. You get a bunch of different resources from this. All in all, it's a decent farm if you just need some element and you want some hide and keratin and whatnot along the way. Like, I haven't had to go out and farm hide or keratin or black pearls or anything like that in quite some time since we started running boss fights consistently, just because the amount of those resources that you get from these. Yeah. If you enjoyed the video, I appreciate it if you drop a like, follow, subscribe, depending on what platform you're watching this on. So it's about a 10-minute fight, and yeah, just went through it, no problems. The tech jetpack isn't necessary. Like I said, you use the cinema crops, or you can just sit on the back of one of your bosses and just shoot up at, or one of your Rexes and just shoot up at the boss. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Have a great day, and I'll catch you.